It would take 2 centuries for the Lord to raise up a great man to bring that ballroom finally to stand where it needs to stand. That was from an alleged pastor on the real National Mall in Washington, D.C. on Sunday at a ridiculous 9-hour Christian prayer rally for the 250th anniversary of the United States. I assume this rally was to continue the narrative that Jesus was from Des Moines and drank Mountain Dew. And yeah, this pastor says in front of thousands of people and on a live stream that God Almighty held back 2 centuries of human history so that he could raise up Donald J. Trump to add a ballroom to the White House.
It's hard to believe that it would take 2 centuries for the Lord to raise up a great man to bring that ballroom finally to stand where it needs to stand. It's extraordinary. We only had to wait 200 years.
And the pastor is Eric Metaxas. He writes children's books, including Donald Builds the Wall. That's a real thing. No word on how many libraries are banning that one. Also, Metaxas, it's what I say every time somebody asks, what was up with that big, beautiful bill? Get it? Metaxas? No, I will not apologize for my bad dad jokes. But this guy, Pastor Metaxas, the man who once allegedly decked a protester after a White House speech, who once said on Charlie Kirk's podcast that conservatives need to fight to the death, to the last drop of blood, is now also claiming that God's 200-year construction project is a White House dance floor that went up from $100 million to $400 million. And the event, by the way, that they held was called Rededicate 250. And it was headlined by Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, the guy with the Crusades-themed tattoos, the guy who reads the gospel. Or maybe it's a Tarantino script. They're so similar, I have trouble telling the difference myself. And it was 9 hours, with Hegseth headlining, Metaxas with the ballroom was God's idea bit, Lorenzo Sol, the Detroit pastor who told Fox News back in 24 that the Democratic platform was demonic. Paula White Cain was there. She's the one that compared Trump to Jesus at the Easter party, and she said publicly that saying no to Trump would be saying no to God. Ah, bless us all. And Donald Trump, the man being literally rededicated as God's chosen vessel, the whole reason that these people were on the National Mall. Did he attend? Of course not. He had more important things to do. That's right, Donald McGolfy got in the motorcade and drove to Trump National Golf Club in Sterling, Virginia, getting there just before 1 p.m., leaving around 4:22 p.m. And all that according to the website Dig Trump Golf Today. He has now spent 111 of his first 484 days back in office on the golf course. It's 22.9% of his presidency, 1 out of every 5 days. The man God handpicked to lead our Christian nation on a Sunday, rededicated to faith, is taking a mulligan. And he didn't just skip the event, by the way. He did post from the golf course, a Truth Social, but it wasn't about prayer, not about America. No, quote, I hope everybody at Rededicate 250 is having a good time. If there's anything I can do to help, just have our beautiful, both inside and out, Rachel CD give me a call. I'm back from China. Give me a call. Kind of weird. And that Rachel CD is Rachel Campos-Duffy. He misspelled Rachel, by the way. And she is the wife of Trump's Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy. She co-hosts Fox and Friends Weekend, and she was on TV covering this prayer event. And in the middle of America's official Christian rededication, the President of the United States maybe was using Truth Social to hit on his cabinet member's wife, kind of oddly, misspelling her name, calling her both beautiful inside and out. He told her to give him a call. So you have the Pumpkin King of perversion, who's apparently now rededicated as God's instrument. Ugh. And right after that, because 9-hour Christian prayer events are obviously the time for this, that's when Trump decided to post his threat to flatten Iran. For Iran, the clock is ticking and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. So Christian. From the golf course between holes and a presidency that Eric Metaxas just told us was designed by God. And look, I've said this before, what we saw in the National Mall is not Christianity. And if anyone in your life is still telling you that Donald Trump was sent by God to lead a Christian nation, just ask him, why was God's chosen vessel sent to the golf course and on the 7th green while everybody was praying? Dog bless us all.
I'm not going to have time to go play golf, and believe me.
And do me a favor, make sure you're subscribed to us. Though my videos aren't long, they are at least not a 9-hour prayer service long.